Hi, you guys. I am back making a video, and I think this is the official first time that you've probably ever actually seen something that wasn't a video that I made with like a photo or a picture or something like that. I'm not at home, but I've been watching a few videos and I had a frustrating conversation with my mother. And a lot of the times when that happens, I will make a video just to kind of get it off my chest or just kind of tell you what I'm thinking. I was watching, well, let's talk about my mom and that conversation first. Of course, she went out in field service today, and my mom is older now, and her health isn't in the best shape. And I really don't like the fact that she's waking up at all hours of the day trying to go knock on these doors. And I really feel that it's because she feels guilty about her life and that she feels like this is a way to keep her salvation intact. But I don't think that's good for her. So I asked her, I said, hey, I asked her some questions about her religion, and she gets very upset when I do that. But I told her, I said, this is your religion. You should be proud of it. You should want to tell me everything about your religion. I said, if I question it, you should be able to come back with a rebuttal. I think the last time before this last conversation I had with her, I think I told her something like that, and she said, well, maybe I can set up an arrangement for you to talk to the elders. I said, the elders? Why do I need to talk to them? Like, you should be able to defend your own information. This is your organization. This is your belief system. You should be able to stand up for it without any help from anyone else. And I said, not only that, the truth stands on its own. You don't need anyone to help it out. You can look at other things, you can look at other information, but the truth remains more or less the same. So basically, I was asking her about the pedophilia, and she got upset, and she was like, well, your church is the perfect way. I should go to your church. I said, no, you shouldn't necessarily go to where I go to church at. I'm not even saying that my church is the way to salvation. I don't really like to talk about my beliefs within my videos too much, but, I have Christian beliefs, and so therefore I do believe that that the belief in God does lead to your salvation. And I definitely know what the Watchtower Bible Tract Society is selling is basically, it's a cult, and they use several forms of mind control. And I told my mother that, I felt very sad for her that she would, align herself with an organization that protects pedophiles and people who abuse their spouses. And she was like, well, I've never seen a pedophile. I said, yeah. I said, speaking as one of those kids that have been molested by someone affiliated with this organization, I can't really say that. And of course, she got very upset, and she was like, I think I had spoken before in another video that two of the people that molested me are no longer alive. The other person that took part in that molestation at the time they were a child. They were probably, I was a child, definitely. It happened from ages 3 up until about 6. But the child that took part in that was a child that was in high school. So I don't know if you want to really consider them a child or not, but that person is still alive. And my mom was like, well, I'm going to go ask them what they did. And I said, Mom, honestly, they're still a Jehovah's Witness. They're delusional as you are. They're not going to necessarily say that they did that, because that would mean they'd have to own up to something that they did. And if they haven't owned up to it throughout all of these years, they're not about to start owning up to it at this point. And she said, well, I think you need to go talk to the elders. I said, I don't need to talk to them. What do I need to talk to them for? I said, they have no authority over my life. I don't recognize their authority in anything. I'm sorry. They have no judiciary, this isn't something that they have jurisdiction over. This is a legal situation. I said, at this point, I think that, that person, I don't necessarily feel like I want to ever be around that person, because I wouldn't feel very comfortable in the pain that they've caused in my life. But I do have to realistically say, I don't know, because this person was doing this and their parents were doing this to myself and my sibling. I think that I don't think we would get anywhere with it. Let's just put it like that. But anyway, So my mom got very upset because I told her, I said, well, I talked to her about the fact that, this is the 100th year since they said that the Gentiles' time had ended and the new system was on its way in 1914. And she said, oh, well, they just miscalculated. And I said, miscalculated? I said, well, why would they be calculating in the first place? I said, doesn't it say in Matthew that no one knows the day or hour? So why would that be a miscalculation? Like, I don't understand that. That's what I told her. And I said, well, why would they try to do that in the first place? I mean, the Bible already says that. I mean, I've read that in your actual Bible and not like a King James version or any other version. I mean, like literally the New World Translation says that, So I told her, I said, well, you have the internet. If you don't really believe anything that I'm saying, look it up. So I told her to look up the Candace Conti case. Normally when I talk about stuff like that to her, she typically hangs the phone up on me. This time I think she just laid it down and turned it over. She didn't want to listen to it, but I typically can speak loudly enough so that, she can hear what I have to say. But it's just interesting how, I talk to her and she kind of crawls under a rock or whatever. And I just told her, I feel sorry for her. I said, you call what you have is the truth. I said, you say you're the true religion because you carry God's name. I said, but even the Jehovah's Witnesses themselves have said that Jehovah is really not his name and that it's basically just a familiar name. And so that's why they took it. So it's not the fact that it's really God's name. It's just a familiar name. I was like, wow, that just doesn't make sense. So your qualifications for being the channel to God is really falling off there, because you're saying the basis on why you're the truth is the fact that you carry God's name, and other religions are afraid to do that. And guys, it's just they backpedal. They don't truly understand what their religion is. They don't understand what they believe in. They just do. And that's because they're under so many forms of mind control. And I told my mom, hey, I know that you're under several types of mind control. And I said, I feel very sorry for you, and I will continue to pray for you. And I hope that you're able to, break free from this situation that you're in. I told her that I didn't really understand why the Watchtower Bible Tract Society continues to protect pedophiles. They continue to have them amongst their midst and do nothing about it. I also talked to her about the Shepherding the Flock book and how it talks about if an elder does something, as long as it's been 3 years ago, they're not going to do anything about it. So, hey, I murdered somebody 3 years ago. You're okay. No disfellowshipping for you. Oh, I molested somebody 3 years ago. You're okay. There's no disfellowshipping for you. As long as you did it 3 years ago, they're good with you. You're awesome. I just think that that's a really poor way of thinking. And you wonder where their morality is. You wonder where is truth for them. And I more or less like to call things reality, because the truth is a word they like to use. And people can see, two people can be a witness to something and they both see it, and they both have their own truth to what happened. So that could be very subjective, very subjective. But reality is different. Just like looking out this window, you can see there's trees outside. You can see there's a satellite dish. I don't have to really, you can see it. It's there. It's not too much more to say. It exists. You can see the window treatment right there. You see the blinds, and you see the trees, and you see the grass. It's there. I don't have to do any mind control to help you know that it's there. It is. And I think that their reality is so twisted, they don't really understand how to negotiate in their mind what really is true and what really is false, because they've created this world for themselves that they exist in. And, I have another friend whose mom, when she got closer to death, she really picked up her pace and going out door to door, and she just said that Jehovah was going to kill her and he was going to kill her. And we all know that the fear that they oppress on people, which makes their lives a lot harder. It makes my life hard because I'm still trying to, move away from that. Well, anyway, guys, this is the end of the video. Y'all have a great day. Bye.